Hello, this is Steve Jordans, and along with Dwayne Paré, I'm one of the co-creators of Peer Scholar. You are about to begin what I think is the most critical step of the Peer Scholar process, and that is the reviewing of your peers. So I created this video, quite honestly, in part to motivate you to really do it right, because if you do this part right, everybody benefits. And so that's my pitch. And let me back up this pitch a little bit. I want to start by just talking about this distinction between what I call pro-social and antisocial behavior. Antisocial behavior we hear a lot about. It's people doing things that are in some manner destructive to the ability of humans to live together. Um, Pro-social behavior is the opposite. Pro-social behaviors are behaviors that humans emit that actually bring us together and bind us as groups and allow us to be more than the sum of our parts. Um, the part you're about to do in Peer Scholar is really all about pro-social behavior. The idea of the phase you are about to enter is that you now have the opportunity to help your peers improve their work. Help them go from a draft, which is hopefully decent already, but to make that something really, really good through the comments that you give them. In return, other peers are doing the same thing to your work. So the first point I want to emphasize is when you come on the other side of this, when you're in phase 3 and you're now seeing the comments that you got from your peers, you will be very thankful if the comments they gave you were really well thought out and useful. And in fact, we're going to ask you to rate how useful those comments are, just as yours will be rated. But so first of all, just imagine yourself that in your future self's head, looking at those comments and thinking that, wow, some people spent some good time here to really help me. Okay, that's the experience I want you to have. You will only have that experience if everybody now in this step takes this phase very seriously. It's not a lot of work, but it really will make or break how powerful this peer scholar assignment is for you. All right, so here's the bigger idea that I want you to take with you. You're going to be asked to do a few things, to rate the person's work in a number of ways. And a lot of that is just to get your mind working, to exercise your critical thinking skills and your communication skills. But one of the things you're going to be asked to do, and the most critical thing, in my opinion, is you're going to be asked to give each peer whose work you read a constructive comment. And I always like to highlight two aspects of that. One is you have to identify some problem. Now, let's stop here. Identify a problem. In fact, identify what you consider the most important problem. So if you see 5 or 6 issues with someone's work, don't try to quickly say, oh, there's a problem here, there's a problem here, there's a problem here, there's a problem here. That's kind of useless. Instead, say, you know what, if I were you, here's the one thing that I would change. Because I think changing this one thing will maximally improve your work. So when you look at each peer's work, that's the first trick, is to try to find what that one thing is. And then you do two things. One is explain that thing very clearly. So really try to help the peer understand, why there's a problem, what that problem is. And then the second thing is try to give them some clear idea of how to go about solving that problem. They might not follow your specific suggestion, but at least you're giving a much clearer sense of what you have in mind, how you see the work being improved. So for each peer, identify the most critical problem and then give them a real clear sense of how to improve that problem, how to fix that problem, how to make their work better. Now, you're just going to focus on one problem, but of course they're going to have a number of peers respond to their work. So when they are on the other side, they're going to see this from a number of different people. And maybe some of you will focus on the same problem. That's good. That'll amplify that problem. And maybe some of you will focus on different problems. So ultimately, this person's going to see 2 or 3 different issues they can think about, as will you when you see your reviews. And they will become the basis for you to improve your work. Okay, so again, let me just scoot back to the big picture. The big picture, please do this very seriously. In some cases, certainly in my classes, part of your grade is based on the quality of the comments that you give to your peers. And again, your peers will explicitly rate how good they think your comments are. So, all of this to say, please take it seriously, spend some time, try to give your peers very valuable comments to work from. If you do that and you spend the time doing that, then chances are they will as well. I'm showing you that I care about this. Please, you care about it. And then ultimately, you will feel the benefit of that when you enter the next phase and you've had all these comments to think about how you yourself can make your work better, because that's the goal of all this, helping you improve the way you think, write, communicate. All right, so I'm off my little soapbox now. I hope you kind of enjoy the experience of sort of being the teacher for a while and learn a lot from it. And ultimately, I hope that other people take this grading process as seriously as you do, and that you ultimately have a lot of great material to work with to improve as you move forward. Alrighty, shutting up now. See you guys. Bye bye.